It's been a rough go for the Cleveland Browns, but been here before. And as things start to turn, conversations start to get had. And I know it's been tough, and I hate to say there might be tougher times ahead with how you navigate this and how you handle it. Listen, the Browns are out of this. We know that. And here come the flood of, well, should we trade Denzel Ward? Is it time to start fielding calls on Myles Garrett? Those are articles I read this morning. Those are situations that I look at this morning, and it's hard to instantly dismiss them. Now, I'm going to do my best to do that, and I think I have a pretty strong take about why, but that's where we're at this morning with the Cleveland Browns. You know the news yesterday. Sounds like Dorian Thompson-Robinson might be out sometime. They bring in Bailey Zappi. Didn't we just do Zappi in timeout the other day, Ryan?
We did. I tweeted, known Browns beater.
No Browns beater. He has a 300-yard game more recent than Deshaun Watson does, but that's all right. He's coming in. That probably tells you a little something about where Dorian Thompson-Robinson is at. We'll get to that. More fallout from this Browns situation on what they're going to do with the quarterbacks moving forward. Yes, the trade stuff is going to get hot and heavy. We'll get to all that coming up. Want to sprinkle in some guards because we hear from Stephen Vogt and Chris Antonetti later today. And I want to get to this. Remind me of this, right? What do you want to ask them? I think on the whole, we would all sit here and say this was an extremely successful season for the Guardians. There is a time I'm going to ask for more, but what is the one thing you want to learn from them recapping this season? We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got Cavs back in action tomorrow. The NBA kicks off tonight, so we have to make our season predictions on the NBA side of things. There'll be a part of 2 for Tuesday talking about the wine and gold. We'll get to the grid. We got timeout. We got our bracket for your favorite Halloween franchise, not just Halloween the movie, but the Halloween movie theme franchise. We'll get to that. Of course, the morning update. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. Follow on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Everything else is Big Play. Go to the YouTube channel, Big Play, Instagram page, Big Play Network, and download the brand new Big Play app. Boom! Right there. There you go. For everybody. Loading right up there. The return, the tailgate, enter the jungle. There we are. Bonus time. Bobby Carpenter Daily. And our first, I don't know how this is going to look on the air, but our first little run here of Jameis Winston's food tour, episode 1.
Yes. Uncorked Clee, I think is the word.
There it is. There it is right there.
That's an advertisement, Matt.
Oh. Well, we have to, our great advertisers here at Big Play. 3, 2, 1. Go.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. There's Jameis. There it is. New starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, I think. Jameis Winston there on the Big Play app. So download it there. Check it out. And we got you covered here for the next couple of hours. So now the fallout begins, right? Now we are in the situation that, okay, you know Watson's out, good or bad. I'm done debating the booing bull crap, whatever. Now the groundswell is going to start to tear it down. And I understand that that is the nature, not just of the Browns. I don't want to take a shot at just the Cleveland Browns. Go up, this is the Browns playbook, right? Just tear it back down. That's football. That's football. When you have a season that you know is done, now everybody's in different situations. Some teams have a young head coach that they're trying to figure out. Other teams have a young quarterback, and that is just a part of the rebuild. With where the Browns are at and starting this conversation, I don't feel like there is a full Sashi Brown rebuild coming. There just can't be, right? There just can't be. And I understand all the implications of Watson's contract and the players that you have on this team. There is a semi-rebuild coming. Ryan's got a smirk on his face over there like he's about to say something. I don't know what it is. We'll get to it in a second. You're facing this. And the hard thing to do is to go against that grain and to say, we're not tearing this down. We're not firing the coach and the general manager and trading away all of our pieces and just accumulating draft picks and all that. The hard thing is to not do that. And I do think Browns history has got to be a factor in this. Okay, this isn't a team that we had a dominant run for 10 years and now it's time to pay the piper. You know, this isn't like the Cavs, right? When LeBron left, frankly, both times, you did the right thing. And look where you're at. You survived both of those. That is not something that the Browns have. I've got, of 20 years, we've been rebuilding for 16 of them.
That's the thing, is you're sitting right now in a very, very, very similar spot to the New England Patriots. They have 6 Super Bowls to show for it. What do we have? Two playoff games?
Three
playoff games?
3 and a win. 3 and a win. That's it. And that's where I just can't jump on this right now to trade it away. Let's get right to it. First 2 for Tuesday. Would you entertain trade calls for Myles Garrett? So this came out from Benjamin Solak this morning on ESPN, and he does a lot of their analytic work. Or no, I'm sorry. Wait, no. No, this was Benjamin Solak. We'll get to Barnell's article here in a minute. So Benjamin Solak went through, and he listed guys that should be available. And his whole point was that now that there are teams out of it. He doesn't list just Myles. He talks about like Chris Olave with the Saints, right? Saints ain't going anywhere. He's actually hurt, but he's only 3 years into his career. I don't know if they'd be trading him away. Like CJ Mosley and Dexter Lawrence and all that. The first guy on his list this morning of teams that should be calling on is Myles Garrett. And I want to read what Ben writes before we start our discussion. He says, you never know until you ask, right? This is a report off Sports Illustrated yesterday that teams have been calling on Myles Garrett. He is one of 10, maybe 12 defensive players that can single-handedly win you a Super Bowl. God, I wish. With his game-wrecking ability, and he's on this list. The problem, the Browns have hugely restructured Garrett's contract, converting his base salary into bonuses that gave him short-term cap relief. It's cheaper for the Browns in 2025 to actually have Garrett on the roster than to have him not there. They already swallowed a dead cap on Amari Cooper. We're swallowing a lot of dead cap on Deshaun Watson, however that gets figured out. With that said, would they make the call? The team that he brings up is the team everybody's going to bring up, the Detroit Lions. Okay, they lose Aiden Hutchinson. Dude, could you imagine those guys on the field together? Oh, boy. Multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks, and I'd have some players that would be the starting conversation there. No, absolutely not. I sent this tweet. These teams can fish all they want. It's like me and the fall brawl coming up. They ain't going to catch anything. No. All right? And these other GMs would be not doing their job if they didn't call. And there's an argument to be said that Andrew Berry wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't field these calls. No. Absolutely not. And you could probably throw at me, Ryan, any trade scenario. What if they gave you 5 first-round picks? No. Absolutely not. You want to talk about almost anybody else on this roster. And I thought about doing this list today of the untouchables or not. And I'm telling you, there are 2 guys on my list. Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb. And I'm just entrenched on how I feel about Nick Chubb, and I don't want him to go anywhere. That's it. I'd even take calls on Denzel Ward. Do I want to trade Denzel Ward? No. There are only 2 guys on my list. One is a heartstring, just how I feel, not my head, my heart. No on Nick Chubb. Absolutely not on Myles Garrett. No. I don't care what they offer. Not even a debate. There is no question in my mind that you hang that phone up when they utter the word Myles. Not happening. You want to talk about anybody else on this roster? You want to trade Joel Bitonio so he can go somewhere and be successful? Fine. They want to come get Zadarius Smith? Not a problem. You can't trade. I don't say you can't trade Jerry Jeudy, but you're not. They want even David and Joe. Anybody else on this roster, I will have a conversation about. Myles Garrett is untouchable. We're not even starting that phone call. Because people will say that's the only way to build things back up, right? You got to get these first-round picks in here, and you can even combo those up. And what if you use those picks to go find your quarterback? Sure, fine. I assume, number one, the team you're trading him to will be picking in the 20s, all right? And I get that there's first-round guys that they get out of the, in the 20s and all that. It goes back, I don't know why, to David Njoku and Jabril Peppers, all right? When we took Myles And then you had those other picks. And you're like, man, look at Peppers. Look at Njoku. This is great. All that kind of stuff. Fine. I like David Njoku. That's not worth it to me. That is not worth it to me. And yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. Myles Garrett, Patrick Mahomes was in that draft. Sure, fine. Okay, whatever. You made the right call. He is one of the best players in football. I'm not trading him. No. For no amount of picks. Not at all. It's also about the message that is then sent to this team and sent to this franchise. And this is what I want people to really remember. You will play good football again. I don't know when the answer is. I don't think it's this year, and God, I hope it's next year. But eventually, you will get back to playing good football. Part of that is having a guy like Myles Garrett on your team. And you could stockpile and say, look, man, 5 picks and you can go back and do 5 mock drafts and do, like, man, you get all these guys, all that kind of stuff. No collection of players outside of a quarterback will have the impact that you have from Myles Garrett. When you factor in that you've already restructured him, the money is not a problem, and they're going to get him paid again. He is going to sign a contract this offseason to make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. That's going to happen. He's not going anywhere. The answer to our 2 for Tuesday, would you field these trade calls? Absolutely not, is my vote. You've had a smirk on your face for 12 minutes, Ryan.
But it's not.
Go ahead.
It's not necessarily. It wasn't
Good
about
morning. Hi, Ryan.
What's up? It wasn't about Myles necessarily.
That's fine.
But I'll hold off for a second because we're talking about Myles right
Let's
now.
reset here for a second. Go ahead.
We're talking about Myles still. I'll make a caveat.
Sure.
I'm not listening if Andrew Berry's the one making my picks.
You can't do
What
that.
do you mean? Why can't I do that?
He's going to be. I'm talking about the trade deadline that's in 2 weeks. They're not firing Andrew Berry tomorrow.
Right, but I'm talking about is he going to be here around next year draft
So
time?
that's another great point that you bring up. When GMs start making these moves, what's the old saying? You're just getting picks for the guy that's going to take your job.
But no, I don't think I would trade Myles.
I don't
think there's truly a trade. There's an untradeable guy in the NFL outside of like a quarterback. But
that's a good point. If you had to pick one, he might be damn close.
Right.
He might be close.
Right.
Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, untradeable.
But you talk about
Justin Jefferson
is the only untradeable one. If you even want to label him as untradeable. Listen, I'm not labeling him as untradeable.
I am.
And it would take a king's ransom. But
I'm
at the end
talking
of the day,
minimum 4 first-round picks. Minimum.
And nobody's doing that.
Nobody's doing it. That's fine.
So then I guess we can just put this to bed. Yeah,
Sure.
He's not going to trade.
No, I mean, it's an essence because there are going to be people that are going to vote yes because the push is you are going to be entering a rebuild. And the problem is that there's a sliding scale that people have about how hard or far you're going to go. Like, imagine this. Okay, 1 is you're the Chiefs. You're not even say the Chiefs because they rebuilt too, but like 1 is you're not selling anybody off. You're a contending team, whatever. 10 is like Sashi Brown, 0-17 or 0-16, whatever. Like, we're tearing this down to the floorboards, and it's going to be bad. I would say you're on the hook here for a 5. There's going to be a part of this, but it's not going to be selling off key pieces. What they're going to do is look at guys that are on expiring contracts, to use an NBA term, 'tis the season, right? Jed Wills, end of the year, done. He's not going to be here anyway. Zadarius Smith, probably not. Greg Newsome, probably not. And you're not going to get the return on that because the teams out there are going to say, well, you're getting rid of these guys anyway. Well, yeah, we'll pick up a conditional 5 or whatever. If they want to shake this and they want to rock it and say, we'll get a first-round pick for this player, sure. The other part of it, and this isn't meant to knock Andrew Berry, which I know kind of where you're going, but I'll do it for a second here. How do you know they're going to ace that pick?
Oh, they won't.
How do you know? You don't. I will take a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I will take a guy on this team that you aced that draft. All right? I saw the thread this morning between Jack and Ben. Jack Duffin and Ben Axelrod. I love those guys, each of them. I love them. I do. They're both excellent people, and they're good at what they do. And even that's how crazy we've gotten. Even then, and they were being, respectful to one another, but they were going back and forth on the contracts and the restructuring. And if you listen to Jack on our show, I don't want to interrupt him. He's on his honeymoon, but we'll get Jack on soon. And he talks about the contracts are just to pay yourself back in a couple years, and you kind of view it as a loan and all that. But then they got into the draft picks, and Jack, right or wrong, brought up, if you look at some of the draft picks that he's hit on, and he's kind of average, maybe a little above average, and you're screaming like traded for Deshaun Watson.
Wait, pause. What did you just say?
Jack said that.
Said Andrew Berry's what?
I want to pull up his tweet. I don't want to misquote what Jack is tweeting here. Hang on. Let me find it for you. Stand by. So you want to do the whole thing here? So
No,
it started with Jack.
No, I don't want to do the whole thing.
Okay. Ben goes, process means nothing if you can't evaluate talent. Right. Jack, people rave about John Dorsey wanted to draft Johnny Football in Kansas City. He gets a pass because the Browns traded above him. AB's hit rate in the first 2 rounds has been pretty good when compared to other general managers.
AB's hit rate in the first 2 rounds, how many first-round picks has he had?
That's what Jack. I'm just reading what Jack said.
And I'm curious, what is he talking about second-round picks? The only good one is Jock.
That's a pretty good one, though.
Yeah,
and then
compare that to the misses.
Okay, I think you're projecting that Michael Hall, who graded out pretty good this past weekend, might turn into a player. I'll give you that. I understand where you're coming from.
Great start to his career, huh?
But again, then Ben brings up the contract. And Jack also brings up a good point that we all have to remember, too. Everybody wanted Deshaun Watson. Yeah, everybody wanted him in the NFL. Yeah, it just went belly up here. Okay, you're fine.
I'm not even.
So they go back and forth.
I'm just talking about draft.
But that's right. We're talking about draft picks of teams that'll probably be in the 20s.
But here's okay.
I'm not doing it. There's no starter for me in this. None.
Here's what I want to talk about you with.
Yes.
Talk about with you.
I got what you're saying.
You talk about how you don't think the Browns are going down this massive rebuild, and maybe that's true.
Correct.
Maybe that's true. But to me, let's just talk about the state of this team. Because obviously, first and foremost, you don't have anything resembling a franchise quarterback.
Correct.
That's clear and obvious, and that's the biggest issue. Your receiving core, Jerry Jeudy doesn't look to be good. You already extended him. Cedric Tillman, you can project whatever you want. I don't think there's a really high ceiling.
I'm going to copy out on the quarterback thing there, but that's fine. That's fine.
Sure,
quarterback.
Okay.
Copy out on that.
Your offensive line is in absolute shambles. Joel Bitonio is probably retiring.
I would imagine so.
Jedrick Wills is horrible. You have no left tackle. DeJuan Jones doesn't look like he's going to be any good. Now you're missing 2 tackles, Matt. Jack Conklin can't stay healthy.
Nope.
Wyatt Teller's on the IR right now and aging, not to mention you. And where do we go on defense? Denzel Ward's 1 concussion away from retiring.
Yes.
Zadarius Smith's about to get traded, and I don't even think he was that good.
That's fine. He can go, yeah.
And what do we have at D tackle? You're waiting, and your D tackles, if your D tackle room is going to be good, then you're assuming Mike Hall is going to be good, which is fair, but I have no idea on that. What do you have to grab from this team that really makes you confident? Because last year, I would have said the same thing as you, but from the sample size that I have this season, it looks complete 180 what I thought we were going to be.
So the problem is, if we go back to last season, and I've got the Colts game
Not
from
to mention,
one...
Real quick, I totally forget, don't know how I missed this. Greg Newsom's garbage, and Martin Emerson doesn't look to be good anymore.
Sure, that's your secondary. You wouldn't basically position by. I get where you're going. Now the thing is, we go back to last year, and I'll do this in time up coming up. 1 year ago today was the Colts game, where you somehow with PJ Walker forced 4 fumbles. Miles was a man possessed, and you won that football game, right?
Yes.
What did you say that day? If we just had a quarterback, right? And that's where I'm not trying to make the comparisons to the Minnesota Vikings, right? Because they're one of the best teams in football. But they let Kirk Cousins go. They kept everybody else.
Okay, but
they're just a quarterback away. So that's where I know things look down right now, but if you can keep a semblance of the rest of this team and then go find a quarterback, which is the hardest thing to do, which is the most important thing to do in sports, you got to keep some people around him.
But what is that semblance? You compare him to Minnesota. They have the best wide receiver in the league. They have Kevin O'Connell, an offensive genius. They don't have a meddling owner, and you have a great defense and an offensive line. What do we have?
You have to assume.
Our offensive line's the worst in the league right now.
That's what I'm saying. The comparison of trying to get up to the Vikings is probably not what I'm talking about, just shooting for the middle there. You got to keep some pieces around this team.
No, I understand.
I'll give you a better one. The Commanders.
The only one's Miles and Jock.
The Commanders. Now, they had a top pick, and they took a guy that looks electric, but they still kept Terry McLaurin. They still kept some of the guys. They got rid of Chase Young, and they moved on from some of the other guys on defense, sure.
They also have a brand new owner, a new head coach, and a new offensive coordinator.
But again,
we're not doing that.
There will be some changes. You got it. That's my whole thing on Miles and even Judy and stuff. You can't trade everybody. You just can't. There was a time that you did, and you could. We're not there anymore. There's going to be good football eventually back in this town. I hope Miles gets to be a part of it. But I just can't, I cannot for any stretch join we might as well tear this all the way down. You have good players here. You do. Keep them. Find your quarterback.
Okay, when you say that, actually, real quick, though, before we move on, and you're not totally wrong, but I want you to name me those players that fall in that category right now.
Of I'm sorry, what?
Of very good players. Talented.
Myles Garrett.
Yes.
Denzel Ward is still very good.
Right. No, absolutely.
David Njoku is still very good.
Sure.
I think it's hard on the offensive line because, again, Batonio's not going to be here.
I'll give you Jock and Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb is...
And he just got back.
Right.
I think Wyatt Teller, he's been hurt, but I still think he's very good.
But again, that's... Sure. Okay.
Okay. And then defensively, you're right. I don't have much for MJ Emerson right now. I'm a big Grant Delpit defender, but I think he can be very good too. It's not perfect. If you had all the guys at the right positions playing how you were supposed to, wouldn't be in this hell. Wouldn't be here right now. But we are.
But we were there last year.
But I'm also, this is a giant leap of faith, which has basically been the motto of the Cleveland Browns for 25 years. This is a giant leap of faith of what? That these guys can get back to that. And you might laugh and you say, nope, I've seen Greg Newsome. I know we're done. But I just have the hope that you can get back to what those guys were last year. And the thing is, again, building through the draft is how most teams come up and they're that successful and they're that good and all that. You get your first round picks back, which again is another hard thing is sitting here, and I'm not trying to bring the picks up, and I usually don't. Well, what you would be if you just think about that, if you just hit on one of those 3 picks that we gave away, just one.
Yeah.
What that might mean. But you got them back now. But you have them back now.
And with me saying all this isn't me necessarily saying that we need to tear this all down.
I get it.
I'm more so playing devil's advocate.
And I appreciate that.
And the biggest part, right, obviously, I mean, I'm not reinventing the wheel here, is quarterback, right? And you need to go hit on that.
Let me do this, okay? This is what the Cleveland Browns are going to do. Are you ready?
Yes.
They're going to start Jameis Winston.
Correct.
Which is the right call.
Big play, Jameis.
Big play, Jameis. He plays well.
Right.
Or better than Watson. Bar is low.
Right.
You will get 3 to 4 more wins. I know you're not going to see that, but you're going to win football games again this year.
No, I agree with you.
You will.
I agree with you.
You get to the offseason. You keep Jameis. You got to re-sign him. You draft a quarterback with your first pick, whether it's 3, whether it's 5, Cam Ward, Shadur Sanders. I'm not a big Carson Beck guy, but whatever. You draft your quarterback. You start next season with Jameis, and you sit that quarterback. I am usually one that I lean towards sitting the quarterbacks, but I like Drake May. Do that. Start your Jacoby Brissett, let him sit for a little while, and eventually you put him in the games, you get the experience, and you build it all around him. That is the game plan moving forward. Why am I saying all that? You don't need to trade anybody to make that a reality. There is nothing that you actually need to do to get that plan in motion. All you got to do is re-sign Jameis and use your first pick on a quarterback. That's it. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Now, what are you going to say? You get these other picks, you can supplement the offensive line. You get an extra 3, you combo that with a 4 and get up to the late second round and you take another corner. I would sit there and say, draft is still a roll of the dice. Wouldn't you rather roll the dice that some of these guys just return to form?
I know
I got you on that. What do you think about that?
Well, it just what you said lend me to another good 2 for Tuesday. We don't have to do it. We can still do the Cavs one, but I want to ask you this.
Do 3. I mean, 2 for Tuesday, 3 for Tuesday, whatever you want.
Do you trust Andrew Berry to make that first round quarterback selection right now? Because we can talk about we talk about GMs are better at some positions than others.
Sure.
And we talk about how he's good at cornerbacking, and that might not even be the truth anymore. But We had Deshaun Watson, but obviously that wasn't a draft. That was a trade.
Yeah.
Do you trust Andrew Berry to make that first-round quarterback pick?
Do you want to know what instantly just rocketed straight into my brain when you said that?
What's that?
I'm going to sound really stupid. Not for the first time, and won't be the last time even today. When you're that high up in the draft, it's kind of hard to screw it up. Now, Jamarcus Russell and even Jameis and Marcus Mariota
Mac
and
Jones,
Mitch Trubisky
Trey Lance,
and
Justin
Mac
Fields.
Jones and Trey Lance and all. I get it. I'm just going to lean towards.
That's actually crazy you say that as a Browns fan.
That's kind of why I said I'm going to sound really stupid saying it. But I guess like the guardrails are a little higher because you have a better hit rate.
I mean, I
statistics
understand
show that you're going to
it's
draft
like,
better players in the first round.
You know, I understand
of course.
that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to dive in. And you're going to dive in. And I'll tell you this. The good news is you know this already. I would imagine you're going to see Andrew Berry at some Miami games coming up. Pull up that Colorado schedule and track a plane for Andrew Berry. You know that's happening.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Keep this as a note. Patrick says if we win 7 games, I'll get your show's logo tattooed on my backside. He probably won't do that.
He won't do it, but
wow, that's soft. You can't come in the YouTube chat.
You can't be knocking us on the YouTube.
His YouTube goon status is revoked.
Revoked. Done. Kick him off the tour. No. I mean, I think you're going to win 4 more games. I think that's 5. So then that's kind of a low bar to be set right there. But yeah, I mean, when you think about the guardrails that are up, you're up against what? Jalen Milroe, Shedeur Sanders, and I really think Cam Ward. I think it's those 3. I'm not big on Carson Beck. I don't know about Quinn Ewers. Certainly not going to be Will Howard. I think you're down to those 3. And that's the other thing. A lot of times, and we talked about this before, you got to just somehow, it's a little serendipitous, if you will, that you just line up with a draft that has good quarterbacks. And there are some people that are trying to say, this ain't a good quarterback crop coming out. Now, they said that about the Bryce Young draft. They're like, man, look at all these quarterbacks. Bryce Young's not good. CJ Stroud, really good. You know, it's like just the yin and the yang. You've had a couple of years of really good quarterback drafts. Eventually, that well runs dry. I'll tell you this draft just early. A lot of good linemen in this draft. A lot of good linemen, offense and defensive linemen. Wide receivers, actually, not as many as you think.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all cyclical. Sports, don't ever forget, this is all cyclical. It all comes back around. So eventually, yeah, you roll the dice. You're in a draft that maybe unfortunately doesn't have the right quarterback for you. But I say this, and I really hold on to this. Any quarterback can be good. It's about the system that they come to. It is a lot about their own mental makeup and all. That's really why I just am all in on freaking Cam Ward, man. I just really like Cam Ward. He's the guy. Whatever. That aside.
I don't think you think that about Bryce Young.
What do you mean?
You just said any quarterback can be good.
That is true. You got me. I didn't think there was no system that was going to work for Bryce Young. It ain't going to work. You're right. I'll give you that.
Okay, but you haven't answered the question. Yes or no?
What?
Do you trust Andrew Berry to make this quarterback pick?
I do. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to because yes, I do. If you're going and saying, find me a guy in the 7th round, that's a little bit harder. Did somebody really utter that? Never mind. Yeah. Never mind.
I would love it, and this would be a dream, and I know it's not feasible because you're not going to go tank for 2 seasons, but if you could get Travis Hunter and the next year just take Arch Manning, dude.
See, but again, it's like the same thing. You could best laid plans and all that, and you're talking about another season of tanking.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing is,
I'd rather be horrible for 2 years.
But you got also the thing about Travis Hunter is he's going to play corner. That's fine.
What do we do? Denzel's a concussion away from retiring.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And what do we just talk about?
That's fine. I get it. That's fine.
There's your replacement for Denzel.
I don't know. It's not an easy situation to be in at all.
Imagine if you could trade Denzel for a first.
I would do that. I would.
Yeah. I don't know if any team's going to do that, but
probably not.
Second for sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Browns are going to be making moves, all right? They're going to be trading away some of their guys. Like, it's just going to happen.
Can I post that?
What? Would you trade Denzel for a one?
No. The Andrew Berry one.
If you want, sure.
I want to know what people...
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, 100%. The good news of what I was going to say is you have a lot of competitive teams right now, and that's who you're going to call on. Don't nobody is going to be bottom of the barrel going to be calling you try to trade for Denzel Ward. It's going to be teams that are in the upper echelon. And I do think with how the NFL has played out to this point, there are teams that see massive holes right now. Think about, and again, I'm fine with the Amari Cooper deal, but imagine just how much a week changes. You don't think the Buccaneers would be calling for Amari Cooper right now? They lost Chris Godwin for the year, and Mike Evans is going to be out a couple of weeks with that hamstring. It looked like he tore his hamstring. That's how much pain he was in.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, it's been tough for the fantasy side of things, certainly. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Life is all about timing, too. They took the best deal that they could at that time. I would imagine you probably could have even got more from Tampa Bay. For a guy like Amari Cooper that didn't Baker throw to him for 1 year, right? Wasn't he here? No, he wasn't. No, that's right. He came with Brissett. That's right. He came in Brissett. You're right. But still, like, that's how it works. You wait another week. Let's see what else happens. Like, the Browns are going to be making some of those moves. Where do we go from here? Now, speaking of that, Bill Barnwell ran through the 6 worst teams in football, and he gave...
Can I guess the worst 6?
Yeah, which here's what he did.
Not necessarily.
This is the Beyond the Rebuild. Basically, what he did was a pro-con list, and he ran through what each team has going for them or not.
Okay.
So the 6 teams, number 1, in any order, but...
Okay, Panthers.
Yes.
Obviously the Browns.
Yes.
Raiders.
Yep.
Patriots.
No.
Okay.
So you got to think about it this way. It's not just that their record is ass. It's like they're facing a rebuild. Like something's going to change for them. I mean, I guess the Panthers kind of don't qualify. But again, you have the Browns, the Panthers, and you said the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Okay, those are 3. You got 3 more.
Okay.
2 NFC, 1 AFC.
I don't think the Cardinals are one.
No.
What scrub team am I forgetting? Oh, the Saints.
Saints.
I forget about them.
1 NFC, 1 AFC.
Not the Jets. Did
Nope.
they put them there?
No, but the
Giants. And I'm missing an
AFC team.
AFC North, AFC South. Not the Jags. Oh, duh.
Titans.
Tennessee.
Titans. These are the 6 teams he did. Browns, Giants, Panthers, Raiders, Saints, and Titans. Now, I pulled this article up before the show, and I laughed. And Ryan goes, what are you laughing about? Here's what Bill Barnwell put for pros and cons for the Cleveland Browns. Pro.
New stadium.
Defensive talent. Okay? Pro. Cap space. Cap space. What? What do you mean?
Laser eyes.
What do you mean cap space?
Laser eyes, bro.
Does he know about the Deshaun Watson contract? Oh, we get to roll that money over. Okay, fine. What does he mean cap space? Is that a misprint? Seriously. Am I missing that? Did he just, and I'm not trying to rip Bill Barnwell, did he just go to Sportico and just go to Sportco or whatever it is and go, wow, the Browns have $55 million cap space next year, and goes, do you forget about the Deshaun Watson contract? What do you mean cap space? Cons. Quarterback and talent on rookie deals.
Yeah.
2 each.
That's true.
I'm going to parse through his write-up here. Last week, Watson Browns off to the worst start, whatever. Torn Achilles, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Jameis Winston. Here we are. The hopes that the Browns would make an impact in 2024 have faded, but that was already a unique situation with Watson that just got more complicated. There probably wasn't going to be a path to trade him, and even if they had adjusted significant draft capital to their embattled quarterback. Now, after a serious injury, there's no way they're getting out of the remaining $92 million. They will get some cap relief, which I sent that article about yesterday. There is an insurance policy that I'm assuming, and everybody speaks like the Browns did take it out. They will get some cap relief from his injury next year, but it won't be enough to make a significant dent in accounting for his financial commitment. For Kevin Stefanski and crew, this is a chance to draw the line under the Watson era. The money is a sunk cost. As I wrote last week, cutting Watson before the season next year wouldn't make much sense financially. Releasing him before 2026 would be much more plausible. Given that the deal is a fully guarantee, that would be more about accounting than actually saving some cash. The most logical thing for the Browns might be holding on to Watson as the most expensive backup in NFL history while pursuing a new starter, potentially with their top pick. Here's where he writes up about the cap space, which I just don't understand, but he's going to get through it. The good news for the Browns, they have the second most cap space in all of football at $44 million, a product of converting his base salary, talking about Watson. They're $41 million over the projected cap for next year, but they can create space again by converting base salary into a bonus and moving on from veterans like Jack Conklin. You're not going to like this. Extending Greg Newsome would also create some short-term cap space. He's playing on the fifth-year option. You give him a deal, you lower that cap hit for next year. That's not enough to put cap space on the pro list for the Cleveland Browns. It's not. It's just not, okay?
I don't know what I would do if they extended Greg Newsome.
They might,
I don't know. I really don't know what I would do.
They might. The problem, though, the other element of the Watson deal is the missing draft picks. I'm not writing that up. Okay, yeah, we got it. Replacing those missing draft picks, the Cleveland need to spend money in free agency or give playing time to less pedigreed players. The Browns field the seventh oldest roster on snap-weighted basis. So it's not like, hey, these guys are on the roster. We're talking about guys that are actually playing on the field. You have the seventh oldest roster in the NFL. It's Darius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, Juan Thornhill. You bring in Jerry Jeudy. You're going to get rid of Elijah Moore. You can move on from that. While the Browns have more young talent than just about any other team after years of tanking and trading down, the Watson deal emptied their cupboard of premium picks for a few seasons. Browns will need to keep accounting for those missing picks in years to come to try to future those selections to fill absent players or continue to try to squeeze out middle-of-the-class free agent signings. The departure of Bill Callahan, we got it. Nick Chubb coming back, okay on that stuff. Defense ranking bad. There it is. There's your pro-con list. I can't buy the one pro. You want to talk young defensive talent? Sure, I'll buy that. Cap space is not a pro for this team right now, and your cons are quarterback, and you don't have a lot of young talent on this team. That's it. That's it. As they sit down and map out their plan to pull us out of this hellhole, that's where you sit today.
Yeah. So I'm in an interesting spot in my Browns fandom, Matt. Because,
aren't we all?
Because, well, I'll tell you why, me especially. Because obviously you've been a Browns fan a lot longer than I have. It wasn't a shot. Relax. And when I really got into football and I started to really heavily,
Oh, when you got into football in 2012, right?
Relax. You're such a drama queen.
That was a shot.
And when I really started to get into football and really start to watch the games heavily and,
sure,
understand the game at a deeper level than most, was right around the time when we drafted Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I was 16, I think.
You had nothing but high hopes.
So I went into that, and then obviously that didn't go as we planned.
Sure.
We traded for Deshaun Watson. So this, to me, like drafting a new quarterback is exciting. And I understand how for a lot of people it's still exciting, of course. Well, but it can be it's tedious.
Well, so here's the thing, because again, of all the years, a lot of my best Browns moments were drafts. They traded up for Brady Quinn. I can't tell you how electric that day was. You drafted Joe Thomas, Quinn is falling, and all of a sudden you get the news we traded up. You know the weirdest thing about that day? That was back when the draft started at noon on Saturday or 10 a.m. Saturday. We're sitting in the middle of the afternoon on Saturday, and you go, the Browns just traded up. They're going to get Brady Quinn. That was electric, okay? They drafted Brandon Weeden. They drafted Johnny Manziel. I talked myself into Deshaun Kaiser. And then obviously Baker, right? But I'll tell you, there is that excitement, and there always will be, and it's what we know. I'll tell you this, Browns fans should be awfully comfortable with how we're going to navigate this offseason because we've been there before and done it before. And you're right. Nothing compares to on-the-field success. I'm sick of winning the draft. I'm sick of winning freaking press conferences, all right? But you are back in what you know. Now, the other problem is, what are all those quarterbacks outside of Baker have in common? They sucked. They were really bad, right? But this one, you just got to hope that it's going to turn the tide. And it goes back to what we always say on this show. If you don't have a quarterback, you're wasting your time. If you don't have one, you might as well keep doing everything you can to find one. And I will say, you want another air of positivity in this whole thing. Look at how many teams quickly have turned things by drafting the right quarterback.
Yeah.
Chicago, Washington, Houston. All you got to do is find that guy. Now, that is a mountain to climb, and it's a lot harder than you might think. But again, you're going to have a top pick. It sounds so easy. Just make the right pick. Make the right guy. Start Jameis. Let Watson just, like, I'm very much diving into what you keep saying. Just tell Deshaun Watson to go away. To go away. I'm sure he will be healthy at some point next season. They're not forced to play him. Start next year with Winston and your drafted rookie, and you tell Deshaun Watson you're starting the season on PUP, or we're just going to put you on IR. And if he wants to file some grievance to try to say that he's healthy enough to play, then just come back and say, what do you want us to do? Fine. You're not on IR. You're going to be the third emergency quarterback every single week. Get used to it. That's what the game plan is going to have to be. What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? That's the only situation that you find yourself in. But again, I have that positivity because, yeah, we all get jazzed up for the draft and we're back to it again, which I completely understand. But you have a lot of more recent success with some of these teams and some of these young teams that just find their right quarterback. But you got to, that comes back to our Myles Garrett question. You got to still have some pieces around them. You got to have some semblance of stability. What kills quarterbacks more than anything is instability. Now, I've also brought this up many a times. I look at the case study of Mitch Trubisky because Trubisky took that team to the playoffs. And now look at him. That's another avoidance that you have to have. Has there been a little regression from CJ Stroud? A little, but he's still damn good. What the fuck's up with Anthony Richardson? Like, you can't have the RG3. This guy comes out, takes his team to the playoffs, looks to be a world beater, and never does anything ever again. That's what you also need to avoid in this. And I think you frankly do that by sitting him. That's why I'm always going to say sit your quarterback. Sit your quarterback. Doesn't have to be for the full year, but I like what the Patriots did. Sit him for a little while, then you put Drake May in there. You know, steady the ship a little bit. Figure out your deficiencies, and also know that you're putting your quarterback in there and telling them, dude, you're going to get beat up. You're going to throw interceptions, but don't take it too hard. Don't let this beat you down. Come out the other side and take us to where we need to go. It's hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be 32 franchise quarterbacks, and every team would be 10-7 and fighting for the playoffs, right? That's not how it goes. You miss. I hope the Browns don't. But at this point, it just comes down to the one pick. That's why trading all this other stuff doesn't matter. It comes down to the plan in motion. You need to do nothing to keep that in motion. You re-sign Jameis Winston, you take a quarterback with your first pick. Just do that. Just do that. You want to make some ancillary moves. You want to move on from Zadarius Smith, that's fine. You want to talk about Greg Newsome going, that's fine. But that's it. That's it. This is your plan. Go all in on this. Like you went all in on Deshaun Watson, you go all in on this plan, and you steam forward. Yes. No veterans, no other guys. Just keep Jameis here, and this is the path that we're on.
Yeah, but I mean, Andrew Berry will be fired, right?
I don't think so.
You're telling me Jimmy Haslam isn't going to make a move if they go, let's say, 4-13?
Because we all know why they went 4-13.
Yeah, but
whose fault was that?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, so then you can't blame.
Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can.
You could be angry about some of the picks and things like that, but when he has been so severely handcuffed by this Deshaun Watson move, he gets another year. I'm not saying he's here for 4 more years. I'm not saying that. You better give him next year. You better give him and Stefanski next year. After that, I'll entertain the conversation on how they handle it. But this is not their mess, okay? And I understand that the easy thing to do is to have a fall guy or two of them in this situation. They damn well better not. They just damn well better not. I've seen crazier things happen, though. Because what's your sense is this, right? This is a top quarterback to what? Usher in a new era? Well, a new era requires a new general manager, new head coach. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater in this thing. I'm not getting rid of two guys who I think are good at their jobs because the Haslam's want to go trade for Deshaun Watson, and it was the worst trade in NFL history. I can't put that on them, and I'm not going to. And the other thing is I'm not out to try to go get my pound of flesh from the Haslams either. This went bad, move forward. Went bad, move forward. If it was anybody else that could be held accountable, we'd be holding them accountable. There's no point in holding the Haslams accountable. There's really not. Seriously.
I understand what you're saying, but
I get that people want to get that off their chest on Twitter and tell them to sell the team. It's an exercise in futility.
I understand.
It really is.
Matt, I totally understand what you're saying. But at the same time, it's not like Andrew Berry's free of any blame.
I'm not saying he's not, and neither is Kevin Stefanski.
But I'm saying, though,
but there's not enough blame to fire them, is my point.
But if you want to leave this Deshaun situation in the past, and you really want to move on and succeed for once in your life and your organization since '99, this next pick is of the utmost importance.
So why would I entrust that?
I know you said you trust Andrew Berry.
Why would I entrust that to either hotshot name general manager or reach? Like, if you want John Dorsey to walk back through that door and make the pick, look what happened after that. All right? Now, where would we be with John Dorsey? I don't know. He made some damn good picks. I'm not saying that he didn't. But he's not here anymore. All right?
But he could be.
There were mistakes. He got fired because he went with Freddie Kitchens, all right? And we obviously know Greg Williams here as well. That was very clearly a mistake as well. They should have gone with Greg. I said that at the time too. But they didn't. All right, that's what got John Dorsey fired.
I just don't know. I
have him make the pick. I don't know. Call him. Tell him, dude, what do you think? He's working for the Lions still, right? He's still up there in the Lions. Call him and go, who'd you take
here?
I
get the logic. I understand the logic, but it's like,
call
okay.
that firm that tells you who they should draft or what coach they should hire. Get them on the horn and tell us which quarterback we should take with our pick.
It's just, I mean, it's fair enough. You just clearly have more faith in Andrew Berry and trust than a lot of people.
Do I have a choice?
I mean, yeah, you do. Well, you don't. Jimmy does.
I don't think. Right. Jimmy does. They have not. I'll say this. I do not believe that Kevin Stefanski or Andrew Berry has done enough to get fired. Now, there's been mistakes. There's blame to put on them 100%. They're the GM and the head coach of a 1-6 football team. 1-6. And I got to sit them and hear them sit there and go, we're a 1-6 football team, and we own that. We are what our record is. Yeah, no, all right? But I don't think they've done enough to get fired yet. I will give them this draft, and I will give them next season. Then we'll have a conversation.
Fair enough, I suppose.
That's it.
Fair enough.
That's where I'm at. And that's also money the Haslam's got to pay out too, right? Yeah. And they're not foreign to paying guys to not be here. That's why Watson should be just fine, right? They're not foreign to paying guys to not play or coach their team. And that's eventually where we're going to be. Not yet.
Well, speaking of GMs, I'm not particularly fond of, Matt. The Cavs play soon.
Oh,
Kobe
come
Altman.
on, Ryan. That's a shot.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's a shot. Actually, you want to do this? You want to just hold our Cavs question to tomorrow? Because they do play tomorrow night. Yep. So we will do our NBA predictions. I want to do them an hour two. I figure let's do this. Let's go around the league.
Okay.
We will, in hour two, pick. Do you want to do all 8 seeds on each team or on each side?
No, we don't have to do all that. I mean, if you want to, we can.
I mean, I was just thinking about, like, what would our, it's easier with the divisions in football to pick your winner. Like, what do you want to make your predictions for? MVP?
Yeah, all the awards, playoffs, obviously championship.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, God, going around the league now is just so painful, man.
Why?
Because every team
we had a good week.
Yeah.
I think we had a good week. It's not that bad, Ryan. Let's do that. That's all right. Let's get to the Cavs in hour two. We'll go to our season predictions on that, but let's get it. Round the league, week 7.
Go Browns.
Yep. All right, we go all the way back, and let's start London again. Patriots, Jags. It is the Jags beating up on the lowly Patriots. Do you see Gerard Mayo come out and he goes, "We have a soft team right now"?
Yeah, Bill wasn't fond of that comment.
That was,
did you see that?
That was, yeah, it is, yeah. That's, I mean, it's interesting to see that for like the Patriots when that was their MO and they had Tom Brady and all that kind of stuff. Jags smoke them 32-16. Are they going to trade Travis Etienne? They don't need him. Tank Bigsby running the football, 2 touchdowns there. Drake May looked just fine, 276 and a couple of scores. I actually think, and you know where I used to be of the Trevor Lawrence apologist, there are some people out there saying he's played well through the bad times for Jacksonville, but he doesn't even eclipse 200 yards in that. Travis Etienne didn't play again. It was Bigsby and Dearness Johnson carrying it. Brian Thomas, I think, is a stud. 5 for 89 and a touchdown. Evan Ingram back. Do they trade away Christian Kirk potentially? Jacksonville's just 2-5. I don't think they're going anywhere. Patriots fall to 1-6. They'll just play it out for another draft pick. But again, I think there's positivity if you're the Patriots that Drake May is turning things around. Jags are just kind of tooling around. Should have been a nice win. Jags cover a win for me and a loss for you.
Yeah, I mean, in your opinion, are the Jags in a better place than the Browns, or a worse place?
They're in a better place because they have Trevor Lawrence. Like, he's healthy. He has taken you to the playoffs before. There's no reason for me to jettison on Trevor Lawrence. Now, they might get crazy and fire Doug Peterson and all that kind of stuff. Is it weird that, and I usually say this, people say this about the Browns, I think the Jags just have a stink on them. I don't know why. Like, even when they got to an AFC championship game with freaking Blake Bortles, like, are they ever going to be good? I don't know. And whether that's their owner or their franchise or like whatever, I'm not a big believer in Jacksonville. I'm a big believer in Trevor Lawrence, but it is what it is. So they get a nice win over the Patriots out there in London. It was the Seahawks. Are the Falcons bad? Just 14 points as they get throttled 34-14. Cousins just 1 touchdown. Geno Smith threw a couple. Kenneth Walker touchdown there. But now DK Metcalf injured and out. More Tyler Lockett, more Jackson Smith than Jigga. It's kind of been a lost man, only 3 catches in that game. But I turn over for Atlanta. Penix got in that game. Just 1 touchdown for Cousins, 2 interceptions. Bijan Robinson ain't the problem, man. What is it with Atlanta? Why are they not good?
I wouldn't say they're not good.
2 interceptions and a lost fumble for Kirk Cousins. Got exposed maybe a little bit. 4-3. I'm not maybe trying to paint the whole picture here that they're just 4-3 and they might now still be in the driver's seat with what's going on with Tampa. But just a dud. Just an absolute dud from Atlanta.
I think the Seahawks are pretty good.
And I will agree with you on that. I would agree.
That's what's so frustrating because the Seahawks last year had the worst offensive line. You were going into the last year with Pete Carroll, and Geno Smith didn't have a good year, right? You go into this year, you bring in Mike McDaniel, you bring in Ryan Grubb as the OC. Geno Smith is good again, I guess? And you're able to patch together that offensive line, and now you're looking in like you're going to make the playoffs. I know it's still a long season, but are they not leading the NFC West?
West, yeah, right now, yeah. I mean, that's what I've always said about it.
Why can't we be a functional organization that can handle a little bit of adversity? It's so irritating.
Well, here's the thing. We're going around the league again. That's fine. It's all good. What I always liked about Seattle, Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith and Jigba, even Noah Fant, DK Metcalf, they have so many weapons. What do a lot of those guys have in common? 2nd-round pick, Kenneth Walker. 2nd-round pick, DK Metcalf. Like, they found these guys. They found them. DK Metcalf is week to week with an MCL injury. So he is, he didn't, again, Mike McDonald didn't rule him out for this week against Buffalo.
McDaniel? Thank you. Mike McDonald.
Mike McDonald.
Keep saying McDaniel.
That's fine. I know what you're talking about. Mike McDonald did not rule out DK for this weekend against the Buffalo Bills, describing the injury as minor, saying it doesn't look long-term. And don't you love when they always say this? And I get we say it about Nick Chubb. They go, we know DK. Anything is humanly possible with him. I doubt he plays this weekend. 2nd most receiving yards in football, by the way, for DK Metcalf. But I would imagine you don't see him this weekend. Hopefully mine are there. 2 4-3 teams. Seattle gets the win. I got the win there. Ryan, unfortunately, took Atlanta. We continue on around the league. It was the Bills just Didn't start out all that good for them. Did not start out all that good. They skyrocket for 27 second-half points to throttle the Titans. Couple of touchdowns for Josh Allen. Not so many yards there for Cook. It was actually Ray Davis who kind of took that over. Josh Allen, I ain't going to read too much in this game. It was freaking Mason Rudolph. The Titans are atrociously bad.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Amari's first touchdown. That's right.
And did you see, somebody broke down the play. Amari Cooper on that touchdown pass.
He looked at
didn't
Keon
know
Coleman
what route
and he
was
goes, what?
running.
And he just points, and then he scores a touchdown.
That's the magic of a good offense, I guess.
It's great. That was a 9-point cover that they needed, and they got it. Titans are lowly. They'll give Brian Callahan another year. They need a quarterback, but the other problem is, man, they don't have anything else. Calvin Ridley, not good. They're going to trade away DeAndre Hopkins. They don't have a lot going on for them. I guess a few defensive pieces, but the Titans are really, really bad. One of the best games of the weekend, it was the Packers getting by the Texans 24-22, a back-and-forth affair. But C.J. Stroud, 86 yards?
Yeah.
Huh. Joe Mixon runs like a man possessed on 2 touchdowns on the ground. But C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs getting into fights. Tank Dell, nothing.
Catches.
Squadoosh.
How does that happen without
And Nico Collins obviously hurt, not there. I'm shocked. Does that game tell you more about the Packers or the Texans? The Packers should have blown them out. C.J. Stroud threw for 86 yards, and you only won by 2?
Jordan Love just kept turning the ball.
Well, that's the thing. Took 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. Didn't he have a fumble in that game, too? No, it was somebody else. It was Ballantyne that had it or whatever. Josh Jacobs only 76 yards, but the other thing is they're finding it without Christian Watson. I know he's banged up too, but they're throwing to other guys. Wicks, Kraft, and Josh Jacobs got the touchdowns. That might have to be what Green Bay is. Throw it to the tight ends and the running backs there. You predicted a push, and you were damn close.
I was close.
It was 3. They win by 2. I took the loss there on Green Bay. They're 5-2, as are the Texans. That's kind of the shocking thing, too. The Texans, with that loss, fall to 5-2. They're in the driver's seat there. Packers?
Yeah, I mean, they were my Super Bowl pick. I think they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Jair Alexander is awesome. And Jordan Love, I mean, talk about what you want with the picks, but, I mean, he throws touchdowns, too. They get enough to get the win. And the NFC North right now is by far the best division of football.
Anthony Richardson might be bad.
Yeah,
I don't know. Colts
I don't want to admit
16-10 over Miami.
I'm not admitting that. Yet.
Boyle had to come in for a Huntley. They had 1 catch combined. What was it? Combined 19 yards between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They can't throw it. The big news this week was Tua. He's coming back. He won't wear the Guardian cap. What's the point? They're 2-4. What is the point? I don't know. I took Miami. You took Indy on the win there. The Colts do cover the 3 there. I wouldn't be celebrating if I was the Colts, okay? No. You're 4-3. It's a lot like the Browns. You look the best that you had with Joe Flacco in there. But also, I wonder how much they miss Jonathan Taylor. You know, they've been without him for a couple of weeks. They're supposed to get him and DeForest Buckner back this week. So maybe that's important for the Colts. You got a scrap, piece of crap win, but hey, you got it, so what? Congratulations. Miami's in a lot of trouble.
I need Joe Flacco to get that job back because I have Josh Downs, and now that I'm out Chris Godwin,
yeah.
I need Joe Flacco to play football again.
Yeah, they can't throw. They just can't throw right now, even with Anthony Richardson in there. I don't understand it. Another marquee game of the weekend. The Lions get it done, 5-1. Minnesota jettisoned from the unranked, or the beaten unranks there. 31-29, a hell of a football game there. Darnold just 1 touchdown, Aaron Jones the other. He did throw it to Justin Jefferson. Couple of touchdowns for Goff, but it's Jahmyr Gibbs, man. 116 and a couple of scores. I know they paid David Montgomery. Why do they give any carries to him? Jahmyr Gibbs is electric.
Chill on D-Mon,
Oh, why? Because he's on your fantasy team?
No, he's not, but he's a good back.
Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, could be elite.
Well, yes.
Elite.
Yeah, but you have your goal line in Montgomery. And your bruiser.
Other news for Lions, Jameson Williams suspended 2 games for performance-enhancing drugs. So he'll be out. Amon-Ra St. Brown got back into the end zone there. You read it, though, for the Titans. I'm sorry, for the Titans. For the Vikings, came down to the wire again.
That was an NFC Championship preview.
That was a great football game to watch. It really was. And you want to see that in the playoffs. I pay good money to watch that game in the playoffs, and that's
Shout
what
out
you get.
Ivan Pace for that fumble return.
Your boy. It's all over.
That's why I should be a GM, bro.
Because why? You just wanted Ivan Pace that bad out of Cincinnati?
He went undrafted.
I know he did. He turned in a nice career for himself there. And the thing is, it was the fourth quarter where Minnesota came storming back. And you felt Detroit just kind of being like, all right, can we just kind of tide this off? And they just couldn't get it when they really needed it. Kick the field goal, make it 31-20. Was there not a bad penalty that pushed them back out of it?
I did not catch the end of that game.
Oh, no, the field goal was from the Lions, but I feel like there was one. I don't know. I might be misremembering games, I think. They also got the fumble return for the touchdown, which was a massive change in that game. I know, but I'm confusing myself on another game. I feel like they were in field goal range, and then something didn't happen. I can't remember. Anyway, great game, and we move on. For that one, I took Detroit. You took Minnesota. Detroit was the dog there, so they get the cover and the win. The Eagles dismantle the Giants, who are just bad. Saquon Barkley, $176. Everybody loves the video of him on the sideline saying, nah, man, I don't want my career high. Let the young guys eat. There you go. Jalen Hurts, not all that great, but you don't need to when your running back is running for 10.5 yards per carry at $176 and a touchdown. A.J. Brown got that one. Solid game for the Eagles. Giants are horribly bad.
Matt, could this be the first time since 2012 we see a non-quarterback win MVP? And I'm referring to Saquon or Derrick Henry.
See, here's the thing.
You think they're going to give it to Lamar if they give it to a Ravens?
Well, okay, here's the thing. Right now in Vegas, and there was a graphic about this, I saw this over the weekend. Do you know who the favorite is in Vegas right now? It's Patrick Mahomes.
Which is bullshit.
But because he's 8th in passing, and doesn't he lead the NFL in interceptions or something like that? Like,
not having a good year.
He's not. But there's the name recognition.
That's the stupidest thing
I've
ever heard.
I would love it. I'd love Saquon to win it. I'd love anybody except the quarterback. And I do think it's shaping up where your best teams.
It should be Derrick Henry.
It probably should be. It really should be. He is the best player in football right now. No questions. But you're right. How much do you look at Lamar? How much does he impact that? You're like, Jared Goff should get more recognition. You ain't going to give it to Sam Darnold. You ain't going to give it to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, and I think Mahomes will still be there, but C.J. Stroud, no. Jordan Love, no.
That's what I'm saying. It's shaping up where
I think
a
it's going
quarterback
that way.
isn't running away with it. Which
I think it's going that way.
You need.
When are the Giants going to fire Brian Dable? Got to be soon, right? Got to be soon.
Yes, but I mean, you're sitting at the same thing as the Browns. Can't do anything without a quarterback.
I guess you can't. No, and they'll be searching for one. They'll be drafting one, but they also signed Danny Dimes to a really bad contract. Not nearly as bad as ours, but that's a bad deal for them. Why did you take the Giants?
Because I was just going opposite of you.
Okay, well, that probably is not going to serve you well, but we'll see how it goes. We went oppo on this one, but I lost it because the Rams only beat the Raiders by 5. They do not cover. 20-15. Stafford, $154 and an INT. Now, Aiden O'Connell hurt. They got to go back to Gardner Minshew. 2-4 for the Rams, 2-5 for the Raiders, both two bad teams. I guess like for the Rams, they'll get Cooper Kupp back. Kyron Williams is really, really good. I guess maybe you get Puka and Kupp back. I don't know how much that'll matter for the Rams. For the Raiders,
they just signed Desmond Ridder.
Oh, that's right. They did do that too.
Oh, boy.
That's right, because they're going to need somebody to back up Aiden O'Connell. Or, again, Minshew, because O'Connell's the one that's hurt. Bad football game there. Rams don't cover. They win. You took the Raiders and a cover there. Nice job for you. Next up, Commanders. Panthers.
Started the defense in fantasy. Huge.
When your backup quarterback throws 2 touchdowns in a game, you know it's pretty bad. Jane Daniels hurt. They're not overly concerned about it. Panthers.
I wish the Browns played the Panthers this year.
That'd be nice. Nothing. Like just nothing. Now, I will tell you this, what I like about the Commanders, that was, we are that good, we'll take care of our business here. And that's like, sometimes you need those little marks for a young team there. I don't know why I took the Panthers. I'm yelling at you about the Giants.
Yeah,
I took the Panthers.
Worse.
I don't know what the fuck I was saying. I have no idea what the hell happened. But Commanders, that tells me a lot that that's a team that goes, we'll take care of business. We are that good, and they just wipe the floor with the Panthers, which have now become an automatic win. Giants have become an automatic win. Raiders have become an automatic win, as have the lowly Panthers.
Cleveland Browns.
I think the Browns are close to that one as well. 3 INTs for Mr. Irrelevant? Is Brock Purdy trash?
Yeah. Well,
he ran for 2 touchdowns, 28-18 for the Chiefs. They remain undefeated. 2 interceptions for Patty, but a couple of touchdowns for Kareem Hunt. He runs one in, as does Mecole Hardman. That's just like the Chiefs finding ways to get a win. 49ers, though. So Ayuk done.
Yes.
Debo, pneumonia.
Yes.
Kittle, McCaffrey, nowhere.
Kittle has a sprained foot now.
He's fine.
I saw a tweet. The 49ers, Matt, their healthiest wide receiver was shot 2 months
Ricky
ago.
Pearsall. That somebody joked that Ricky Pearsall made it back before Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And he got shot. 49ers reeling.
Yes.
Not good.
Yes.
Injury bug.
Yes.
How much do you think that puts the pressure to get McCaffrey back? I think a lot.
Yeah,
I think a lot.
I mean,
especially with Ayuk out. Now, I'm assuming now Debo was in the freaking hospital, so I hope he's all right.
I mean, but you're already looking the outside in the playoffs, man. I mean, Ayuk's already gone. Brock Purdy's not playing that well. I mean, you might just sit McCaffrey out the whole year, which I wouldn't like. But
maybe. I mean, you got Jordan Mason. It's not like they could run the football yesterday anyway. Chiefs are the complete team, man. They are hands down and very clearly the favorite to win the Super Bowl again.
Nope.
Really?
No.
Why?
The Ravens are better than the Chiefs.
I don't think so.
Yes, they are.
No. They gave up 30 freaking points yesterday. I'm talking about their defense. I can't.
They were up
they got a better offense.
They were up the entire
game. That Kansas
game.
City defense is better than the Ravens defense. Come on now.
I'm telling you, the Chiefs are not better than the Ravens this year. Nope.
They're in the same realm, and I'm not saying it's a big gap. Give me the Chiefs.
And that's as well, because I'll admit, I was completely wrong. When the Ravens signed Derrick Henry, what did I say, Matt? I said it didn't scare me. Boy, was I wrong. He was the perfect addition to that team.
I was the same way. I sat there and said the same thing, that he was going to suck, and boy, have I been wrong on that. But I'll still take the Chiefs on that one. Boy, the Steelers. How do they keep doing this? They pull Russell Wilson from the grave and come on in and smoke the Jets, who I just got to tell myself, and this is an unequivocal fact, the Jets suck. They suck. They're not good. Give credit to the Steelers. They got that win. Fine, good, great, but man, do the Jets suck. Wilson, 2 touchdowns, 264. Najee Harris running Pickens. They got it going there for the Steelers. Raj, touchdown, interception. Why do they just not give the ball to Breece Hall all the time? I don't know. You leading receiver, leading rusher, Garrett Wilson screwing up left and right. Got that poor guy hurt on the bounce off the chest, the interception return. I didn't believe in the Steelers, man. I took the Jets, and boy, am I wrong.
I took the Steelers, right?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Let's
you
go.
Took the Steelers. That's where we're at. All right, Monday Night Football. Anything to really say there? I think the Jets are fried. They suck.
Aaron Rodgers might be.
Yep. All good. Ravens Bucks shootout. Some garbage touchdowns there from the Bucks to get it done. Question is, what the hell are they going to do now? Godwin out for the year. It's going to be weeks for Mike Evans. But freaking Derrick Henry, man. Bucks 69 got the receiving touchdown in that game. Lamar.
Dude, he's unbelievable. He's just unbelievable. He's so good at football. Oh, my God.
Andrews back. Everybody go, oh, Mark Andrews. All right, well, come on back for that one. Garbage touchdowns there for Baker and Bucky Irvin and all that, get it done. But Bucks washed, hurt, bad.
The thing is, I mean, Mike Evans drops that touchdown and gets hurt the same play. The Bucks, if he catches that and stays healthy, they're winning that game.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it.
But again, what are they going to do without Godwin now? Got K-Dot and Rashid White, who they just have to give the football left. They're just going to have to run the football.
And Sterling Shepard.
They're just going to have to run the ball. They're just going to have to do everything they can to run the ball. And I do think, I like Bucky Irvin, and I like Rashad White, and everybody's all talking about Sean Tucker and stuff.
Dude, did you hear the stat about Wirfs?
No.
Yesterday, he got his first holding call called against him since 2022.
And it was kind of a ticky-tack bullcrap call, too.
Yeah. Who did we take? Jed Wills?
Well, Andrew Thomas was the only guy that was off the board at the time, so you passed on Tristan Wirfs.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That is correct. That's right. Yeah, Baltimore, insanely good. Absolutely insanely good. Not so good, but I guess a good game. Cardinals walk it off on the Chargers. Low-scoring affair. Kyler Murray's got to do it all. He runs in the long touchdown there, 17-15. Chargers not good. I took Arizona because I don't trust the Chargers to cover that.
Chargers?
You took the Chargers.
Jesus Christ.
You took the Chargers in that one. Herbert, Squadus, throw it for 349, but no touchdowns, no interceptions. Did they not score an offensive touchdown?
I didn't watch a second.
I think they kicked 5 field goals.
I did not watch 1 second of that game.
Cameron Dicker, 5 for 5. 5 field goals. Dobbins had a slow game, which tells you all you need to know. Nothing for your guy, Ladd. Quentin Johnston didn't play in that game. I think kind of 2 bad football teams. I don't say bad, 'cause I think the Chargers are going to be really good like next year.
Right.
Not right now.
They'll draft a receiver.
The Cardinals, uniforms looked good, though. Yeah. They went the all black. Yeah, looked really good on that. All right, let me add it up. 15 games. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 7 for me on the week. You went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Dude.
7 and 8.
That's
game under 500.
So rigged.
Right? 15 games. That's what I got.
That's disgusting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins. Ryan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins.
So rigged.
7 and 8, 8 and 7. Let's go. I hope the grid is rigged because we kind of need it for it. Let's go.
Browns
Day 2. Good. Keep this stretch rolling. Got it yesterday. We're done and dusted. Here we go. Immaculate grid time.
All right. Pro Bowl Colts.
Go.
Eli Manning.
I'm
just kidding. Jets. Who do you want to go?
Did Garrett Wilson make it last year? I don't know. Just go Curtis Martin, I guess.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I don't like pretty sure.
Click it. Okay. Matt Ryan?
No.
Oh, Julio. All right, so now I got the Browns.
Browns, Colts.
Ronnie Harrison is actually who I came to mind, but you could go
Naeem Hines.
Naeem Hines. Oh, wait. No, he's not played a game for us yet. Wait. Hold your horses.
So Ronnie Harrison?
I'm pretty sure Ronnie Harrison. I don't know. Who's another Browns Colts player? I can't think of one right now.
Brian Hoyer?
Yeah, but he also works for San Francisco in the Colts.
Okay, well, let's see if we can think of... He played for the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, no, wait, there's got to be another Browns Colts player. It can't be that crazy, right? Oh, Trent Richardson. Thanks for the first round pick. All right, you to Hoyer.
100%, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just making sure.
Okay. You get me nervous when you do that.
Hero?
Yeah. Oh, God, I could slam some Mr. Hero right now. Braylon Edwards. Now, Alex Mack works Browns Falcons, but he also works 49ers Falcons.
Okay.
So Browns Falcons. I don't know why I want to say Zadarius Smith for a second, but no. Why, you have one in mind?
No, I just know that's blatantly wrong.
Okay. Hayden Hurst? No, I'm just kidding.
Austin Hooper.
Hoopa! Man, did he get paid. All right, go Alex Mack.
Jets, Niners.
It's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think he ever played in San Francisco, right? Tyrod Taylor, no. Mark Sanchez, don't think so. Why is one just not coming straight to mind? Running backs?
Frank Gore ever play for the Jets?
I don't. He might have. I don't know. Actually, he might have. I don't know. There's got to be an easier one than that, though. There's got to be. Right?
I mean, probably. Odds are.
Dude, what? It should not be this hard. Okay, we know not Jimmy Garoppolo. Alex Smith, no. Why? There's a wide receiver. I know there's a wide receiver. Why can't I not think of it? Brandon Marshall, I don't think so. Ted Ginn, no. Bro. Who was the one you said?
Frank Gore. Did he play for the Jets? I mean, it sounds.
I want to say yes.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay.
But like, we have time.
Yeah, we have time. I'm shocked that something else is not clicking here for us. Bro. What?
I'm almost positive about Frank Gore.
All right, just rip it then.
I'd be embarrassed if it's not right.
Good.
All right. Sam Darnold.
All that.
Sam Darnold was the most popular.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That'll work. That'll work. All right, you want to just catch a break, come back, we'll get our NBA preview rolling? Let's do that. Let's catch our break. We come back, run through our NBA preview. We'll make our selections for the season. We'll get to timeout. We'll get to the bracket. We got it all. Fontana Show right here. Streaming on YouTube, Big Play. You can always check us out on Instagram, Big Play Network, and follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show, or download the brand new Big Play app. Back right after this.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Hi everyone, Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. You're listening to
And I think they got 11 last year because we were just riding the highs of Flacco fever and the crazy run that they went on in the second half of the season this year. I'm going to go 10-7 as my Browns record prediction. I'll take a game away. I agree wholeheartedly with what Bruce said, that this division is brutal, and the Browns are going to have to take care of business early on in this season because they don't catch a divisional game until like week 7 or week 8. So you got to beat Dallas. You got to win some of these winnable games early, so that way you've got a little bit of a cushion in the AFC North when those games begin. I'll go 10-7 for the Browns this year.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play. We'll get to time up in a second. We got NBA basketball tonight, so 'tis the time. Ryan and I going to run through our season previews. This is how we're going to do it. Cavs play tomorrow night, so we'll do our individual Cavs preview tomorrow and getting ready for that. So here's what we want to do. Ryan, do you want to just do...
I want to do awards.
Awards, conference winner, champion?
Yes.
Make the playoffs? Do you want to go through team over-under win totals?
We can do that tomorrow.
Oh, do that tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay. So let's start with awards. Let's go MVP. Your favorite in Vegas is Luka Doncic. He's about plus 370.
He's the favorite every single year.
Jokic is second at plus 400. Shai is 425. Giannis 800, all plus, obviously. Then Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Webby, Jalen Brunson, Embiid, Ja Morant, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Everybody else is plus 10,000 or longer, including Donovan Mitchell, who is an even plus 10,000. All right, starting with the MVP. I saw this the other day, and I'm going to buy into this. Don't put any money on Joel Embiid to win anything, because he ain't going to play enough games. Yeah. So take Joel Embiid out of it. I do think a lot about the injury part of it, or playing enough games. I also don't like Jokic this year. I think there's going to be fatigue. So now I'm back between Luka, Shai, Giannis, and Anthony Edwards. Jason Tatum ain't winning that award. There is in no world with the team that is assembled there will he get enough love to win that award. So I'm down to those 5 guys. What my smart thing would be to do is take 3 of them, put a bet on each of them, and I will still win money on any of them. So I got to take Doncic out of it. Smart to do that or no?
No.
Okay.
It's never smart to take him out of that conversation.
Here, I'm going to set this aside here. NBA. MVP. Matt and Ryan. I'm going to go Giannis.
Okay.
I think they have a big bounce back year this year. I don't think they'll be the top seed in the East, but I think Giannis will win the award this year. Ryan.
I think the Thunder will be the 1 seed in the West. I think Shai should have won it last year. I think he gets it this year.
All right. Shai is it. Rookie of the year. You want to do that? Do you care? Reed Shepard, Zach Edey's the favorite.
Ew.
No?
Ew.
Forget it.
Ew.
Defensive player of the year, Victor Wembanyama is minus 170. There's no way that we even bother with that, right?
I don't know how it wouldn't be. If he plays full season, it has to be.
That's fine. So we'll just do MVP for awards. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't have coach of the year, which I think is interesting. I could find it. Kenny Atkinson was like 4th on that, but here we go. All right. I do want to do win totals, so we'll do that today. All right, but let's go first here. This is what we're going to do. Eastern Conference champion. Okay. Conference winner. The Celtics are plus 155. Knicks are plus 400. 76ers plus 450. Bucks are plus 600. I said this with Danny when I joined him on Locked On Cavs, sorry. And I said, I really like the Knicks for this, because I think they're a motivated team. I think they want to get out and prove things. Like Boston's like, we'll figure it out. Plus, they had a lot of guys that played in the Olympics that might get off to a slow start. I don't think they really care about the regular season. I think, well, wait a minute. I'm screwing this up. This is not to get the 1 seed in the East. This is to win the Eastern Conference.
Right.
Take that back.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to pick Boston, but I have to. I don't want to pick Boston. I got to take Boston. I will. Ryan?
Ew.
I don't like it. I don't want to do it.
Ew.
I don't want to do it. Boston.
I want to take the Cavs.
You would get them at plus 2,200.
I really want to take the Cavs.
Take the Cavs then. I don't care.
No, give me the Bucks.
Bucks. Milwaukee it is. All right, Western Conference champion. Your favorite is the Thunder at plus 310. The Nuggets are plus 475, as is the Mavericks. Timberwolves plus 500. Everybody else is plus 1,000 or long. So you got 4 teams basically: Thunder, Mavs, Nuggets, Timberwolves. I will start. I feel pretty confident about this. Give me the Denver Nuggets to get back out of the West, get back to the finals. Right.
All right, I have Bucks winning the championship over the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oklahoma City it is. So then obviously champion, here we go. You already have taken Milwaukee. Is that how that goes?
If Giannis stays healthy another year with Dame, I think they got it.
I think Denver wins the title this year. I'm all in on the Denver Nuggets. Now, you want another real fun thing on this? Do you want to go exacto? You can go over to our friends at BetOnline, and they have exact NBA Finals matchups. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
The favorite is the Boston Celtics versus the Oklahoma City Thunder at 9-1. Now, by the way, it doesn't matter who wins. It's just that these two teams meet in the finals. Celtics Thunder are the favorite. Celtics Mavericks are 14-1, as is Celtics Nuggets, which would be my pick at 14-1. You took Milwaukee and Oklahoma City.
Yes. I took the Bucks over.
You would get that at 27-1. 27-1 is how that lays out. Now, you want to talk about each individual team? Cavs Thunder 70-1 to meet in the finals. Cavs Mavericks 113-1, as is the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. You want to see the Cavs and the Jazz in the finals? That's 5,000-1.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that. Don't nobody want to see that. So that's it. I got Giannis. You got Shai. I got Boston coming out of the East. You have Milwaukee. I'll take Denver out of the West. You'll take Oklahoma City. I've got Denver winning the title. You've got Milwaukee taking the title.
Yes,
good and
sir.
good? All right, let's run through some quick over-under season win totals. All right, so this is going to go pretty fast. I'm going to kind of cherry pick. And we're going to do our Cavs ones tomorrow. For all that. Where the hell is it? Oh, wins playoffs. All right. Regular season wins. Knicks, 54.5 over under. Over. I like him as the 1 seed. I got to take the over. All right.
The 1 seed. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
I'll
the 1
go
seed.
over. I don't know about 1 seed, though.
Celtics, 58.5 under.
That is a lot of wins.
That's a lot of wins.
But, I mean, I guess under.
Don't do it. Just take the under. Timberwolves, 53.5.
Over.
Mavericks, 49.5.
Over.
I like the over, too. Grizzlies, 47.5. I kind of like the under. Everybody wants to go and put it on, Ja's coming back and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like the under there.
I'll go under as well.
All right. Where are the other top teams in this? This is not ordered by wins, and there are some teams. This is really weird. Cavs are at 48.5, by the way. Love the over. 76ers and the Bucks are both 50.5.
Over
on both of them?
On the Bucks.
On the Bucks, what about 76ers?
I mean, okay, what do you think the minimum games to get in the playoffs is?
Oh, well, you're talking about not having not having to play in the play-in tournament?
Yeah.
44 wins will get you in the play-in tournament.
Not the play-in.
Oh, not the play-in tournament? You got to win 45.
All right, I'll go over.
Let me go last year. Let me see what they did last year real quick. NBA standings. Okay. Last year, the Pacers kept out of it with 47. The 76ers had to go to the play-in tournament with 47, as did Miami at 46. They were the 7-8 seed. But then the 9-10 seeds were 39 and 36 wins. So, and then in the West, you needed 49 wins to stay out of the play-in tournament. So I guess, yeah, that's about right, about 50. So you're asking yourself the same thing. If they're going to get 50, they're going to stay out of the play-in tournament. I think that's right. Nuggets are at 50.5. I got to take the over on that. OKC is 56.5 wins.
I mean, I said they're the 1 seed, so yeah.
Last year, they won 57 as the number 1 seed. They tied with Oklahoma City and Denver. Each had 57 and 25 a year ago. So that's kind of where you're coming back. So that's pretty much it. All right, tonight we kick it off. Do you want to do those games later?
Yeah, we can do them.
You want to do them a little later? All right, we'll get to those games later. We have 2 games, right?
Yes.
2 games. Knicks, Celtics, Timberwolves, Lakers tonight. So we'll get to our picks on that a little bit later. All right, so let's get to time up. We'll get back. We'll get to the bracket. We'll get to our plays tonight. Let's head back a little bit with time up. All right, here we go. We head on back. Just 1 year ago today, we beat the Colts 39-38. Kareem Hunt, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jerome Ford had a 69-yard touchdown run on the 3rd play of the game. Miles Garrett strip sacks.
I remember I cashed first touchdown score in that game.
Dude, Browns recovered 4 fumbles in that game. 4, as they were all over Gardner Minshew. Dustin Hopkins had a 54 and 58 yard field goal in that game to get it done. 39-38. Seems like ages ago, right? That you won that game with PJ Walker going in there to get it done against the Colts this day 2022. This day 2018, the Raiders traded Amari Cooper to the Cowboys. The Raiders got a 1 back, and they took safety Jonathan Abram, who was not very good, so I guess it worked out for the Cowboys, and in a way, it worked out for us. This day 2017. This game, I'll never forget, man. Because we fall to the Titans 12-9. Okay. We fall to 0-7. Ryan, do you know what else happened that day?
No.
We were sitting in the press box. There was a run play you didn't think anything of. And Joe Thomas stands up and he holds his arm. And we go, oh no. And for the first time and the last time in his career, he walked off that field, tore his tricep this day 2017. Now, I'll send this picture out. I mean to do it here in a minute. We talked to him after the game. He's standing there with his arm wrapped up with torn triceps. And he's sitting there talking to the media. Like, wow, but his career came to an end this day 2017. One of the greatest Browns of all time, as we know. First ballot Hall of Famer, all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, man, I'll never forget that. Because it was not, at that point, we had no idea what the injury was. It was just the utter shock that Joe Thomas was coming out of the game. It's got to be like Cal Ripken. When they go to that rookie kid and they go, hey, you're starting at third base today. And they go, good Joe. Like, Joe Thomas is coming out of the game. And you go, what the hell's going on? Then, is he going to come back? Does he want to resume his career? All that. But Joe Thomas's career came to an end this day 2017. Also this day 2017, Mickey Callaway leaves the Guardians or Indians. He goes to the Mets, hired as a manager, fired after 2 seasons, 500 record. And then, of course, we all know what happened after that with Mickey Callaway, whatever. Left the team this day 2017. In quite the matchup, this day 2016, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, 66-59. Baker Mayfield was 27 out of 36 for 545 yards and 7 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 52 out of 88 for 734 yards. 5 touchdowns and an interception, and he ran 2 other touchdowns in on 85 yards on the ground. Baker and Mahomes combined for 14 touchdowns this day 2016.
That's absurd.
Mahomes, I want to read his line again. 52 out of 88 for 734
Should be
yards.
illegal to throw the ball that many times.
And welcome to the Big 12, or what used to be the Big 12, this day 2016. This day 2015, the middle finger emoji was added to the iPhone. Very important. Very important.
Yes.
I got that new iOS update. It sucks.
I don't really update my phone.
I shouldn't have. My widgets are gone. Everything's all screwed up. Not a fan. This day, 2012, Lance Armstrong was officially stripped of all 7 of his Tour de France's for blood doping.
Nice.
I don't know how, they had to have been complicit in that, right? Like, how do you win that many, have that many drug tests, and he still never got caught until it was all at the end of it? You know what I mean? Something was weird about that, but he got them all stripped this day, 2012. This one's just for me. You know about Mount Union, right? You know how good they were?
Yeah.
This day, 2005, they had their 10-year regular season winning streak snap. They lost to Ohio Northern 21-14 this day, 2005. They had won 110 straight games in the regular season. Their last loss was to Baldwin Wallace in 1994. So they went from 1994 to 2005 not losing a game in the regular season.
Yeah, that's impressive.
They're really good. I've got takes on Mount Union. You probably don't want to hear them. They're kind of cheap, but that's okay.
Let me hear them.
No, I don't want to get into it.
Come on.
No,
Stand up for your jackets.
It's not even standing up for them. It's just I know what Mount Union does.
What do they do?
I will just put it this way. There was a guy that I played with in high school, okay? He graduated a year before me in high school, but a year after me in college. You're not supposed to redshirt in Division III. There is no redshirt in Division III. How did they do it?
So you're saying Mount Union should be stripped of their titles?
They would just tell guys don't play football for this year. That's what they. I guess, is it illegal? Probably not. I don't know. But I ain't ripping Mount Union. I'm a Bum Wallace.
Should I investigate this?
If you want to, go ahead. Larry Karras ain't there anymore. I think Vince Karras ain't even there anymore. You do what you need to do. I'm a sad Yellow Jackets fan.
So
okay?
Jackets greater than sign Raiders. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Screw the program. And now John Carroll's leaving the Ohio Athletic Conference. What the hell's going on? Whatever. D3 football update for you on the day. This day, 1997, the coldest World Series game ever played in history. Right here in Cleveland, it was 38 degrees. Indians beat the Marlins 10-3 in Game 4. This day, 1997. You want a little box score from that?
Sure.
Not that it means a lot to you, I don't think.
Anybody.
Right? You don't know any of these guys? None of them? 10-3. Jarrett Wright got the win for the Indians. I loved Jarrett Wright.
What year was this?
1997.
Oh, I think you said 37.
No, 97.
That's why I was
1997.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Jarrett Wright, 6 innings, 3 runs. Brian Anderson got the save, going an old school save, 3 innings of shutout baseball.
Is that Brian Anderson, the commentator?
Yes, there's a pitcher and an outfielder. And I'm pretty sure Brian Anderson. No, hang on. The commentator. I don't think he played. No, not that Brian Anderson. No, not him. But then for the Indians, there was Brian Anderson, the pitcher, and then I remember Brian Anderson, the outfielder, too. But anyway, for the Indians lineup, Bip Roberts got the start in left field, batting leadoff, win 1 for 4. Then Omar, Manny, David Justice, Matt Williams, Sandy Alomar, Jim Thome was batting 7th in this lineup, by the way. Then Tony Fernandez and Marquise Grissom, all for the Indians that day. Cranked out 10 runs on 15 hits. Real quick here. Oh, here it is. Home run. Manny Ramirez and Matt Williams both hit home runs that game this day, 1997. This day, 1939, the NBC televised the first ever football game. The Brooklyn Dodgers beat the Eagles 23-14 this day, 1939. Very happy birthday goes out to Jimmy Fox, Hall of Famer, Ichiro Suzuki, Brad Stevens, former Blue Jackets goaltender Ron Tugnut, Spike Jones, Jeff Goldblum, Bob Odenkirk, Christopher Lloyd, and 21 Savage, all celebrating birthdays for you today. All right, 3 on the movie TV front for you. We start with a movie. Came out this day, 2021. This film just got a sequel, and it's made a buttload of money. People love it.
2021?
Yes. 2021 has now been redubbed Part 1. Part 2 just came out this past year, and it's all based on a book.
Oh, I was thinking A Quiet Place for a second.
No.
Part 1.
It's a science...
Dune.
Yeah, correct. I was going to say an ensemble cast. Josh Brolin, Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson.
I was Matthew.
Never seen it.
Matthew. I accidentally called you Matthew for
That's
some reason.
fine. That's fine.
I was told that Dune, Star Wars basically stole everything from Dune.
Well, because Dune, the novel, was written in 1965.
But I was told basically Star Wars is a ripoff of Dune.
I'm sure George Lucas got his ideas from somewhere. I have no idea. I'll tell you, I've not actually seen it. Everybody and it's every time I log into Max, it's like the first thing, like Dune, you know? Actually, I'll tell you what, my wife and I are doing an in-home movie so we want to obviously go see movies and all that. We miss doing it, whatever, with the kids. So like Friday, we have plans. We are going to rent Beetlejuice. And I'm like, I'm going to go get the good popcorn from the store and all that kind of stuff. What I really want to do is go to the store and get an icy.
Beetlejuice 1?
No, the new one. Beetlejuice. So they did a weird thing. It was in theaters. It's still in theaters, but we can rent it for $20. So like we thought about this. Instead of us paying to go to the theater and then also having to pay the babysitter, then we could just sit at home and watch it. You know, I'd like to see it on the big screen, but for $20, we'll just rent it at home. But that's our movie on Friday, so maybe I'll have to add Dune to that. There we go. Dune State 2021. All right, television show. This day, 2001. This is one of the longest, and I actually do think is the longest running ESPN television show.
Ooh. Pardon the interruption?
That is correct. Woo! PTI. I love PTI. Around the Horn is great.
Yeah.
Stump the Schwab is still the greatest ESPN TV show.
Tony and Michael have been on the air for,
2001.
Yeah, like those.
2001, buddy. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And it's like eventually, yeah, I'm assuming one of those guys are going to retire and all that.
He waves his,
but it's
waves
like,
his
that's
Canadian
what I'm saying.
flag.
Good night, Canada. Like, that is, I'm telling you, like, the format is great, but it's Tony and Michael that make that work. Like, they're just enough yin and yang. They get on each other's nerves. I love when Colonizer puts the doctor jacket on. I love that show. PTI is goated. It is so good. So celebrating today their 23rd anniversary this day for PTI.
Old as me.
That's where we are. All right, we go back to a film this day, 1981. I'm sorry, 1982. 1982. This is a film that has spawned an ungodly amount of sequels that, frankly, not many of them we need.
Friday the 13th.
No, that'll be in our bracket coming up in a little bit, but also counts, yes. Oh, I don't know if I want to give it to you. He just gives it away. This guy wages a one-man war on a town.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, you're in the wrong genre.
Oh.
Wrong genre.
A one-man war?
A one-man war against a town sheriff and his cronies.
And there's a ton of sequels?
Yes, they made an ungodly amount of sequels. I shouldn't say ungodly. There was a sequel that right then followed it up. Then the actor who plays the main character, they came back to do another one a couple of years ago that nobody really needed. You might not get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Troutman?
No.
Sheriff Will Teasel?
No.
I'll deal with a drifter who is walking through a small Seattle town looking for his... Seattle town. He's in Hope, Washington. He's a Vietnam veteran out on his own. He walks to go find a friend of his, a former colleague of his, that he unfortunately gets to his house and his family tells him he passed away from the Agent Orange. All right? So then he's just walking through town. The sheriff picks him up and he says, "Get out of my town." And he goes, "I'm not doing anything." So he arrests him for vagrancy. This guy then goes into the woods and destroys the whole town by himself. If you had a really big knife, somebody said you might be acting like who?
If you had a really big
knife, not Crocodile Dundee.
Rambo?
That is correct.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now, that's not the name of the movie.
Oh,
the movie is called First Blood. Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
So Munch and I used to do trivia, and this was young in my career, and we were doing movie trivia. The answer to the question, I played a clip, and I think it was something along the lines of, you bring that many guys, you're going to need a lot of, just remember one thing, a lot of body bags. Or the other great line when he goes, "Here lies John Rambo, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor, killed in Jerkwater, Iowa, or Jerkwater, Washington, for vagrancy." I played the clip. Guy calls in, and he goes, "First Blood?" And I go, wrong. And then Munch looks at me, he goes, "What do you mean that was wrong?" And I said, "The movie is Rambo." And Munch looks at me, he goes, "No, it's not. It's First Blood."
Damn, he knows more than you.
The problem is, we almost got in trouble with the FCC because that person actually won. So I freak out. I go, oh my God. I go, can this guy please call back? Like, everybody else get off the line. Let this guy officially win. We end up finding him. I had already given the prize away, though.
Wow.
So I got in trouble for that. And I didn't properly vet my questions and answers, that the movie is not actually Rambo. It is First Blood, which is an amazing flick.
Never seen it.
Oh my God, go watch it. It's well worth your time. It's Sly Stallone. It's Brian Dennehy, who played Old Man Callahan in Tommy Boy. He plays the a-hole sheriff. He turns it into a flamethrower. He hijacks a truck, living in a cave. He kills a pig.
I didn't know that's what it was about.
Yeah, so he's like, he deals with PTSD. So he's like walking through town, and Teasel comes up to him, and he goes, let me give you a ride. And the guy goes, I think I'm going to get something to eat. He goes, no, I'm going to give you a ride. He drives him through town, and he goes, get out of my town. Then Rambo turns around and starts walking back into town. So then Teasel beats him up, and he arrests him. They take him to the sheriff's station, and they find this giant knife on him and all that. They go to shave him, and they're holding him, and it triggers PTSD from the war, and he loses it. And he goes out there, and he gets away, rides a dirt bike into the woods. They go after him. He throws a rock at a helicopter. Guy falls off. So now there goes a murderer. And they go, they were shooting him, right? You start rooting for Rambo throughout the whole thing. Right. You want him to kill everybody. Kind of does. It's like an anti-hero thing. He actually doesn't kill anybody. He goes out of his way to not kill people. Great movie, though. Guerrilla warfare. He's up in the woods. I would not steer you wrong. There are some movies I tell you don't need to see and some that you do. And it's only like an hour and a half movie. It's not a long movie. If you stumble across Rambo, watch it. Well worth it.
Fair enough.
I'm just telling you that. So there you go on all our movies and television shows for the day. All right, before we get too far away, you want to get to our bracket and fill that out for the best horror franchise of all time?
Yeah,
Let's do it. Pull that up, please, for everybody. A lot of great suggestions. Let's run through it. So again, 'tis the season for the holiday, for the Halloween, for all the best horror franchise. So again, you got to talk whole franchise in this whole thing. That's the important thing. Is it's got to be not just individual movies, it's the whole thing. So we know it's our show. I got to put Halloween as the number one seed.
Yeah,
that's got to be.
Did that win last year?
I feel like it might have. I don't know. We do these year over year because I think it's fun to do. All right, so group one, number one, Halloween. Got to be it. Okay. Number two, group two. A lot of people like Scream. There's a lot of people that put Scream into this.
I've actually never seen a Scream movie.
The first one, I've only ever seen the first one. It's pretty good. All right, group three, I guess Nightmare on Elm Street, and then probably Friday the 13th. They have to be the number one seeds, right?
Yeah.
Saw?
Is that really Halloween?
I mean, I guess horror Halloween. I get, you get the genre we're going for here.
Yeah. Did you put it out on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
You want me to rip through all of them?
Yeah.
All right. Halloween, Scream, Conjuring, which is really good.
So should that be a 2 seed?
Conjuring can be a 2 seed.
Do you want it against Halloween?
That's fine. Somebody's gonna have to go against it. That's fine. Somebody said Hannibal Lecter, so like Silence of the Lambs franchise. There's Red Dragon and Hannibal. I put that in there. I know about a 2 seed. That's fine. You already typed it in. That's fine.
No, I didn't even type it in. That just happened to be there.
Oh, because we also did that for
movie
best
villain.
Movie villain. That's fine.
So should I leave it as Lecter or should I put Silence of the Lambs?
Put Silence of the Lambs. Terrifier's got to make it.
Oh, that shit is creepy.
Isn't it creepy? I don't even watch the movies, but I just know the clown from Terrifier.
Ugh.
I think that's got to make. I don't know about a 2 seed. Put that as a 3 somewhere. That's fine. Right there's fine.
I don't want to put that.
Why?
Just creepy.
It's that scary.
Just gross.
Paranormal Activity's got to be a 2 seed. Put them right there in group 4 for me, please. Child's Play.
That's Chucky, right?
That's Chucky. Put that as a 2 seed up against Elm Street. Wait, what was the other one we were just talking about? Scream, Halloween, Conjuring.
Paranormal Activity?
Paranormal Activity's got to make it somewhere.
That's you just told me.
Oh, no. I thought there was another one.
Conjuring?
Conjuring we put.
And then you said Child's Play? I'll put that.
Child's Play there. Oh, Alien. Somebody said Alien.
Is that really?
Is
that really?
Nah, throw it in there. Why not?
All right.
The Exorcist.
Alien. The Exorcist.
The Exorcist should probably go in there. Oops.
Where do you want it? I guess.
We're down to 3 seeds, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, how do you spell Exorcist?
EX. That looks right. That looks right. See, again, like I search Halloween movies and they're like, oh, E.T., you know, and they're like,
right.
oh, you know, all that other kind of stuff. That's not really kind of what we're looking for. Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre's got to make it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, throw that in there.
All right, I'll put that.
Idle
Texas
Hands is a great movie that nobody knows about, but go watch it. It's pretty good.
I'll just put Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, you know what it is. Like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, that's not making it, right? Hocus Pocus? No. It's kind of like a dub of Halloween, you know, horror, all that other kind of stuff.
What about Insidious?
Yeah, you know what? Somebody said that. Yep. Somebody said that. Yep. Put that in.
Well, it's got to be
Best horror franchises. Conjuring, Child's Play, Saw. That's the one we forgot. Put Saw somewhere. That's the one I was trying to get to.
I feel like that's got to be like a 2.
I think that's got to be a 2 seed too.
Why
don't you bump down Child's Play? Put Child's Play at 4. I guess it really doesn't matter. They're in the same bracket.
Wait, but then Insidious is there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had Insidious in there. See, I don't think Saw should go in groups 1 or 2. That's too hard.
Okay, here's what I'll do.
Yeah, do that. Saw, and then put Insidious in group 4.
Yeah.
Do that. Exorcist. So we only need 2 more, right? Yeah.
We need 2 more.
2 more. Group 1 and 2, we need 4 seeds.
Yeah.
Final Destination.
Let me see if anybody put anything.
Anybody in the YouTube chat?
They haven't said anything yet.
Not yet. Somebody get it there. Somebody throw us there. Scream, Final Destination, Evil Dead.
I never really seen that, but
Put Evil Dead in there. Evil Dead's got to make it. Alien, Scream, Halloween we got, Saw, Terrifier, Child's Play, Paranormal Activity. I mean, I feel like we got a really good run of it here.
we need 1 more.
The Ring? No. Blair Witch, those weren't franchises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody said horror and film in general is Jaws. I don't think Jaws is a horror movie.
No.
Not. It's a thriller, sure. It's just one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces ever made. That's what it is. You got 1 more. You don't have one that you have to put in there? Usually I give you 1. We each get 1 that you're like, yep, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean,
here's IMDb's horror movie franchises in history. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's Halloween. There's a lot of Halloweens. Friday the 13th. God, Freddy vs. Jason was so bad. Nightmare on Elm Street. The Hills Have Eyes.
I don't know what that is.
That's a
Is that a franchise?
Yeah, there's 3 of them. They just remade it. Actually, they just remade 2. You want to put Hills Have Eyes? How about Hellraiser? That's Pinhead. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for Hellraiser. I guess you got to put Hellraiser in there. The only other one would maybe be Candyman.
Is that 1 word or 2 words?
Hellraiser is 1 word. Bride of Chucky, that's all Child's Play. Yep. All right, man. I like that. We'll send it out. There you go. At Matt Fontana's show on Twitter X. We'll get to that, and we'll get you rocking. Tonight, 2 NBA games. Knicks, Boston. 5.5. I really like the Knicks tonight. I just don't think Boston's going to be all that fired up to get ready to go.
They'll be getting their rings, right?
Yes.
Is there some stat about ring teams that get the rings always lose.
Probably. And then Minnesota, the Lakers. How are the Timberwolves only a 1.5 point favorite against the Lakers?
Because Bronny James about to drop 40.
Do you see Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. going to that game tonight?
Oh,
Because they wanted to be a part of it. So there you go. So 2 games for you tonight. Place your wagers on that, and we'll be back tomorrow to recap that. All right, where we're at for the Browns. Off day for them. Want to revisit our Twitter questions finally before we go, Ryan? Because we asked everybody. I got a lot of responses. Like, Jeff, no, dumb idea, would set our team back for years. Dave, would you trade Myles Garrett? Yep, but it would take a lot. 2 first-round picks plus a good couple of players and mid-round picks to start. That's where it would be. Johnny, yep, you got to trade Myles at this point. I love him, and he's a generational player, but we need a lot. Someone offers you 2 1s in 2 seconds, you get that deal done. Ryan, where are we at? Would you even entertain trading Myles Garrett?
40% say yes, 60% say no.
Oh, there you go. All right. Great stuff today. Appreciate everybody joining us. We're back tomorrow. Big show for us tomorrow. Noah's going to kick us off right at 9. Then Brett McMurphy's going to join us. He's from the Action Network. He does all his college football predictions. So he sent out his idea of what the 12-team playoff is going to be. He's got Ohio State not getting a bye. But we'll talk to him tomorrow about that. I'm really excited. I've followed Brett for a long time. I really appreciate his work. So we're going to talk to him tomorrow at 9:30. We'll get more on the Browns as we go on. Welcome to town, Bailey Zappi and crew. And we'll see where the Browns are at tomorrow as we move on forward. Today.
Oh, we never talked about guards. Stephen Vogt.
Oh, yeah. What do you want to learn from Stephen Vogt today? I told you to remind me of that, too. It's my fault. No, it's my fault. It's my fault. They talk at 2 o'clock. What's the one thing you'd ask him? And we'll recap it tomorrow. I would ask him what he learned the most from the postseason managing, maybe.
Antonetti speaking?
He's also speaking.
I would ask him the question. I mean, given that series, do you feel like you need to spend more money?
Yeah, they have. Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You're asking that question, rightly so, to get his response to that. And I wonder about the blitzer money. I wonder about a bunch of other stuff. But I also sit there and say, you ready to give Stephen Kwan a contract extension? Are you ready to maybe give some of these guys that need it? What are your thoughts on? That's my biggest question for Chris Antonetti. What do you think of Josh Naylor? What do you think of Josh Naylor? Yeah, Bieber's obviously a big one. I'm resigned to the fact that they're going to sign him to a deal for 1 year next year. 1 year, $12 million, whatever it might be. Coming off Tommy John, should be ready to go for the start of the season. So that's it. Yeah, but I would say as far as reacting to the season, what did Vogt learn? And Antonetti will give you a bunch of word salad, about this guy or that guy or what they think. But you're right. They need the money coming in. They need it with Blitzer. So we'll see. All right, today coming up, Joshua Maria Cribbs. Don't forget about Inside the Jungle, James Rapine and crew after their big win over the Browns. I'm sure they're gloating about that.
Enter the Jungle.
What did I say?
Inside the Jungle.
Enter the Jungle. Enter the Jungle is the name of the show with James Rapine and crew. So that all comes your way tonight. Big Play, Twitter, YouTube, and also check us out on our brand new Big Play app. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.